My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Cobalt Core. Alright, we've finally unlocked the Tiderunner. Took a little bit of a detour into the losses for a couple of episodes there, but we're all good, we've got it now. 10 wins gets us the Tiderunner. I mentioned it at the end of the last episode, but I'll do it again. Tiderunner. Immediately after you play the leftmost or rightmost card in your hand, you move left or right one respectively. At the start of your combat, add an anchor to your draw pile, which is a 1 cost that says your ship cannot move if this is in your hand. So you have a lot of movement utility. I've got to keep Perry in the team, as I've been using Perry as my memory unlock at the moment. I kind of want to take Max, Books, and Perry. Feels like there's a lot of tricks going on in here, but sure. Let's see how it goes. I want to unlock you. Obviously, it's got to be after I get all these at this point, right? It's the only thing that makes sense. So I need 9 more wins. All right, that's not a problem. That's probably going to be fine. Yeah. Easy. Not easy, but easy. A little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Lose 2 max hull, lose 1 max shield, or gain a debris. That's not much. I gotta go for the debris there. Perfect. I get the debris, and then I get to remove a card and gain 1 of 3 random common cards. Get that debris out of there, and give me a little direction to work with. Reroute. Autopilot. Immediately after you play the leftmost or rightmost thing in your hand, move left or right, loses at the start of your next turn. So we basically have that, don't worry, it's already good. Mining drill. For 0, do 1 instance of 0 damage and gain a shard, or you can spend a shard in order to do 1 damage. I'm gonna go with the mining drill, because especially with Perry's ability to upgrade our actual damage output, I feel like I might be able to treat this as a 0 cost deal damage and gain shard. Avast, me hearties. Sorry, I let the old-timey speak slip in. Play the leftmost card and you're free, and then exhaust it. Yay, I can get the anchor out of my hand. Woo! And interestingly, playing the anchor seems to have removed the anchor's effect and then triggered the movement of the ship. So it's after the full resolution of the card, it appears, that Tiderunner takes place. Let's fire a basic shot and then a basic dodge, move even 1 further out of the way and gain an additional evade. I'll move 1 space back over and just start absolutely firing on you. Perry's right, and we will do it again. Put a crystal shard in hand, move 1 out of the way, and now the enemy can't hit us. Woohoo! And with that, we will celebrate by gaining resources. This 2 wide gap in the middle is incredible. If I got offered the ability to shuffle my thing, I wouldn't, because I don't want to not have those 2 next to one another. The shape of this ship is a huge amount of its defense factor. I'm gonna reroll. We've left a couple times. 1 basic shot to move me over so I can line up for a multi-shot. That's a lot of resources expended to basically do nothing there. Let's lunge over, hit him with a basic shot, and then even a mage hand. Good. Only 1 HP left on the enemy. I can deal with that. I say, while evidently not dealing with that. Never mind. Lunge will get us there. Goodbye, Cicada Drone. Lose all shard. For each attack for 2 damage. Glimmer shot. There's also an unpolished crystal and swizzle shift. Swizzle shift giving us the ability to actually upkeep a reasonable amount as well as move 2 spaces at the same time. Honestly, that's pretty incredible. Let's get some more upgrades. I'm going to move one space over manually here so that I can use a mining drill to take out one as well as gain a shard. And then I can use swizzle shift to line up with another one of them, then take that out and move out of the way of the final attack drone. I deal with the barrage that they already had set up there. And I can even basic block to get a little further away. Put a crystal shard in hand and use that to move over to the right, setting up for a mage hand to be able to strike the enemy. I definitely don't want to move now because I'm lined up to be able to take out whatever the enemy summons with a missile, and they're already lined up to take out both their new summon and their old summon at the same time. So I'm actually just going to burn the corrupted core. Okay. There's the anchor, trying to assert that we can have no fun. Let's gain a basic dodge, use lunge in order to take out the thing directly in front of me. Even playing the anchor will not remove it from the deck at this point. It doesn't exhaust on play. Okay, quick wee mage hand, move over, fire 2 basic shots maybe? Yeah. Definitely don't want to move back in range of the attack drone Mark II. Let's use a crystal shard. Sure. That will line me up with a mining drill to take out another one of the enemy's attack drones. And then I can line myself up to prevent them from gaining additional shield, moving only one more space in order to prevent myself from taking a hit to their attack drone Mark II. I have to burn the anchor out of my hand in order to actually move into a position where I can fire upon the enemy here. But it's worth it, we leave them on 1 HP. I like this ship. Multi-shot, Sapphire Shield, reroll. Sapphire Shield with the possibility of upgrading it to Sapphire Shield B, wherein it's giving us 2 points of shield at the same time as a single shard, seems pretty nice for characters that otherwise don't have a really easy time generating the amount of shield that I'm going to want. Multi-shot and then reroll. I do want damage, but I feel like I can take a detour to the Sapphire Shield at the moment. Detecting a minefield up ahead. Oh, wow. With a lot of exploded ships inside. Let's stop and look for cool stuff. We'll probably barely explode at all. Let's look around a bit. Lose 3 HP? Yeah, absolutely not. I'm going to lose 1 HP and gain an artifact because it's the only possibility I can do. Prep batteries, extra energy on first turn. More than happy about that. And I need a damage up pretty severely. I mean, I need survivability as well. Unpolished crystal giving 2 crystal shards to the draw pile. No, giving 1 to the hand gives me a lot of movement because the unpolished crystal A will be the first card we draw. So if I play this, it will move me 1 to the left, but it will also give me a crystal shard on the rightmost side of my hand. So when I play that, I'll move 1 to the right. So it gives me a lot of movement on that first turn. But it's not the damage I'm looking for. That'd be multi-shot. Yep, I'll upgrade the damage on multi-shot. I'd like to survive. That just seems like it'd be fun. Sapphire Shield my way over to the left, a little basic block to get there too, 1 basic shot and a basic dodge even. Woohoo! Look at all those resources. Clearly, I can't live like this. Move that card out of hand. I'm gonna use the mining drill to gain unpolished crystal to gain and move. Crystal shard to gain and move. And lunge again to get even further. Let's re-roll the hand so I can swizzle shift over here. And then use a single mage hand for 3 damage against the enemy. If I lunge, I can actually prevent them from being able to respond to my body. Cool. But I'd actually really prefer to fire on central mass here. Basic shot, I'll alternate the mining drill and fire another basic shot. Admin deploy that basic shot out at the deck. So if I lunge, I actually need to know the order of this operation. So if I lunge, I move 2 to the right, which actually reveals me to the enemy's damage. I strike them, they strike back, and then do I move, or do I move again? Actually, I don't need to know the answer to that right now. My health position doesn't need to know the answer to that right now. Let's get the anchor out of the sand so I can crystal shard over. Fire a basic shot. And then sapphire shield myself back away. One more over to the left and I can fire the multi-shot for 6. Follow up with a big mage hand, and I'm gonna have to have some access to basic dodge for future turns, one imagines. Alright. Needler down. Oh, there's Inverter, and we do have more shielding options in this deck. We've already got the mage hand, but we've also got a sapphire shield. Thing is, Inverter is right. It's fine. I played it previously, but I'll play it again. Inverter is right here. Energy refund. Gain 1 energy whenever you play a 3+ energy cost card. We don't have any of those at the moment. Safety lock. Choose a card in your deck with exhaust in it. It no longer exhausts. Oh boy. So, admin deploy doesn't exhaust itself. I don't know if I could make it not exhaust with safety lock. I suspect that's not the case. If basic dodge was already upgraded to its 0 to exhaust, that would be incredible. I'm worried that if I take safety lock, I'm going to be in a position where I just have to choose unpolished crystal, and that's not what I want. Energy refund, I guess. Justin Hatch, you may remove 2 cards at repair yards. Is anyone else getting a really bad headache?
No, dude, it's from that high-pitched static. What is that?
You all again.
Hello!
Which of you shall I teach this time?
Harry Maxwell books. I still need damage. You know what? Max. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. A reroute that I can use to go even further? At this point, yeah. Let's do it. A little bit synergistic with what we're doing in a base deck.
I know Kung Fu. You do not.
Oh, damn it.
Weapons hot! Ooh. I only have to move 1 space over in order to be safe. Woohoo! Basic dodge. Then reroll. Then admin deploy. Ta-da! I get to burn a basic shot out of the deck, do 3 damage, gain 2, keep 2 evade rather, and still the ba-ba-ba. All of the things. Reroute Sapphire Shield and then Mage Hand seems appropriate here. I can take 2 less hull damage with a single movement, so I will. Basic block my way out of the way. Gain some shard, move myself out of the way. Gain a crystal shard, move myself out of the way. Gain another crystal shard, move myself even further out of the way, and then burn out the corrupted core. Could have been worse. Definite big reroll in this hand, moves me over to a position where multi-shot won't do anything to the enemy. Rude. I do need to ultimately mine my way over to the left of this enemy. Well, I'll still do 1 damage to him this turn. Incoming damage this turn is only 1. Good. So I can just lunge, shoot. Sapphire Shield doesn't actually do anything here, so I'll gain some more evade for a future turn, losing 1 current shielding. Let's reroute. I can fire a Mage Hand for 4 damage to the central mass of the enemy. Then if I use a basic block, I move 2 over to the left, 1 from reroute, 1 from the copy of Tiderunner, and then I can use a Crystal Shard to move 1 further over, doing the same again. Firing Mining Drill there would have just put me back in the fray. I'm gonna play the Anchor out. Fire a big old Mage Hand. Actually, if I move 2 over, I can basic shot and then fire against the brittle shot with the mining shot as well in order to take the enemy out. I don't think I need another mining drill or a swizzle shift in this deck. Feint, though. Move left twice instantaneously and gain a temp shield. A lot of control over our movement. The thing is that, so this is about having a huge amount of control over your movement, a huge amount of finite control over your movement, a lot of variability in what you can generate in terms of outcomes on the board based on the sequencing of your turns. I just don't know if I need more movement in this deck at this point. I'm going to take a feint. Stun Calibrator. After your first attack charge each turn, gain a stun charge, and then choose a card that does not have Retain in your deck, give it Retain. Inverter, having Retain, in particular, leaps to mind as something very powerful. I'd especially be able to then upgrade Inverter to be 1 cost so that I can just set it up as, okay, I have 3 energy on this turn, I'm going to use 3 shield on this turn, I'm going to use it to gain 3 overdrive, and then boom, boom, boom with the multi-shot. And then I should definitely... Ooh. Removing 2 cards from the deck and just getting 2 basic shots out does seem really good, but I also need to add some more damage to the deck before I do that, I feel. I'm going to upgrade Inverter A, especially now that it's sticky. Sure, I'll Mining Drill, and then I'll admin deploy a basic shot out of the deck, which counted as 2 of my leftmost cards being played. The admin deploy was a leftmost card in hand, and then it played another leftmost card in hand. don't think I'm gonna need that evade as much as I'm gonna need that shield. Okay. Let's gain some sapphire shielding. Put a crystal shard in hand. I'm gonna fire with a multi-shot before I move out of the way. It's faint. And then I can use a basic shot to move back over to a better position. And a basic block to effectively negate all incoming damage this turn. I definitely need to be able to move my ship, so I gotta get the anchor out of my hand. I don't currently see a way out of this. Wait, moving 3 over to the other... Yeah, okay. It's gotta be lunge, and then basic block. I'm gonna lose all of my armor for doing so, but all of the other turns killed me, so I prefer this one. I think I have to burn out the inverter from this hand. It being sticky is actually causing me to be incapable of playing turns that I need to be able to play. Use Mining Drill to move 1 further over. Now we are in the realm of Feint. And multi-shot to do some damage this turn. Definitely Swizzle Shift. I'm going to be using Mage Hand and Sapphire Shield as well. I don't need to use the additional Crystal Shard. It would just draw me into a basic shot and reveal me 1 more damage against the enemy. From the enemy, rather, this turn. Okay, incoming damage this turn is 2. I can't really do too much about that right now, and movement isn't going to help me get that much better at the incoming damage this turn, so realistically, I'm looking at trying to take that too. Oh, I don't have the ability to safely take that too, so now I have to... Now I have to find an alternative of some kind. I suspect that alternative is not here. I'm not seeing a way to take less than 2 damage. Yeah, no matter where I position myself there, I was taking at least 2 damage to the enemy. So, I need some additional hull, would be nice. More reliable defense, more reliable... Otherwise, shielding... I'm gonna need damage. I'm gonna need damage, definitely. I feel like Inverter was probably not the right source of damage for this deck. In fact, I feel like even if I took Perry off the field and put Drake in instead, I might be a little happier, but the same problem applies. I'm working on Perry's memories at the moment, friends. And sure, is that the thing that I have to optimize everything around? No. Is it what I'm optimizing around? Yes, yes, it's that one. There's a missile bay on one side, there's a cannon on the other. I almost feel like maybe I should put myself in a position where I'm capable of utilizing both, but I could do that with books. Books would be a great way of doing that with geodes. You know what? I'm gonna send it back. Same run. Sign me up again. Debris. And let's remove a basic and the debris. We recall now that Anchor is generated at the start of combat, so there's nothing can be done about that. We use Basic Shot for repositioning here. Crystal Shard in hand, please. That's not what I wanted. Just do as much damage as I'm capable of then. Basic Shot and a Corrupted Core so I can basic dodge out of the way, gaining evade at the same time. Love the efficiency of that action. Hit him with the multi-shot, the Crystal Shard to generate the damage from a Mage Hand. Admin deploy a Basic Shot out of the deck. Only let me draw my big damage cards, please, thank you. Speaking of them. Big damage card, please, and thank you. Multi-shot. Oh, yeah, if I play the Anchor out, even though... Yeah, I'm gonna have to move another space. Thankfully, that does actually give me the ability to do one more damage. It's just not the damage I was planning to do, you see. Mage Hand for the kill. The at the board waits for no amount of coffee that I was drinking in the meantime there. Wave Charge. Add a Wave Beam to your hand. So it's a 0 for 2 that pierces. I'd love to have that. Have 2 of them? Just cycling through the deck, those 0 damage attacks in there constantly. 0 damage. 0 energy matters a lot for a deck like this because it gives me a lot more utility in the ordering of cards that I play. Which itself then gives me a lot more utility over the movement that I generate. I'm definitely going Wave Charge Beam B. Oh my giddy gosh, we can immediately upgrade. And we will be. If I found out anything recently, it's that damage needs to be generated.
Detecting a minefield up ahead. Oh wow, with a lot of exploded ships inside.
Sure. Recalibrator. Draw a card every time you miss a shot. Legitimately, we are missing shots so that we can redirect our target. If I get to draw at the same time, all over that.
You guys still looking for a fight? You came to the right place.
Oh my god, a Wave Charge B, and then I just basic block and move? Wow!
Value. This turn is nothing but value.
Okay, let's give him an unpolished crystal. Move one space over. Wave Beam, multi-shot, and then a Mage Hand for 1 more block as well as 2 more damage on the enemy. That could scarcely have gone better. First I reroll, and then I'm going to remove the Anchor from my hand. Then by firing simply 1 Wave Beam, I'll generate movement and another block. Had to use all of my evade there, but I did manage to set up a turn wherein we just nailed the enemy constantly, and I'll finish it off with another Wave Beam for the finish. Reroll, sidestep, Zircon Zip. This is a lot of access to evade, and I want a lot of access to evade. Zircon Zip seems so powerful. Sidestep though, literally just choose. The thing is, sidestep, because it's retained, would end up in the leftmost side of my hand, so it would move me right and then I'd immediately move left. So sidestep is actually not useful for me. Zircon's Zip, however, is Piercer. Your first attack each turn pierces. Stun Calibrator. After your first attack each turn, gain 1 stun charge. Yes, I would love to use multi-shot to just stun the enemy. One basic dodge and then an admin deploy gets the other thing out of my hand. And I can even use Zircon Zip in order to keep all of my evade. Sure, multi-shot will now take out the heavy missile as well as the cannon's cannon behind its action. And then I'll just generate some wave beams. Two wave beams is enough to take out that action as well. And we'll just get the missile to clean misses. Thank you. Yeah, these wave beams are really holding up their end in terms of damage here. Oh, extra battery. I don't need it right now, but when you do need it, you need it a lot. I kinda want it. How bad do I want it? What about Scoot? What if we would just boot Scoot and babies? You know what? No. I don't think any of those actually make my deck better right now. Rock Collection, 2 geodes, what do you mean? 2 geodes, they're the ship at the start of the combat. That's great for us. Alright, enemy's gonna try and dodge. I'm gonna re-roll so that I can get the anchor out of my hand with the admin deploy. I don't have to be anywhere near you right now, buddy. I'm gonna go over here and gain some resources and put the wave beams into my draw pile. You come over here when you're ready for a real fight. Wave beam. I'm gonna move 1 space over to prevent the enemy from getting their status effects. Wave beam. Pop Corrupted Core. Basic dodge back, and then multi-shot to get... Oh, multi-shot was both left and right of my hand because it was the only card in hand, so it didn't move me in either direction. That makes sense. Let's re-roll the order of my hand so that I can start moving to the left here happily. Gain even more evade. There you go. 1 HP left on you, buddy. Here's a wave beam. Hilariously, I don't think I can get back in range with you. Well, I'll be waiting for you over here. Got him. Escalate, admin deploy, and extra battery. Escalate's not bad still. Admin deploy is also really good. But eventually I will have too many things burnt out of my deck and not enough things played. Let's take the 0 cost upgrade to Escalate A. I want more draw. I would love the max draw. Get the full 10 hand. Oh, I'm not letting you do that. The current layout is definitely optimal with both of the spaces next to one and in the center of the ship. Sorry. No upgrade allowed. Escalate for 0 cost. I don't want it to become sticky. It would cause a Disruption to my hand placements. Incoming damage this turn is 0. Just the way I like it. If I'm okay with taking 1 hit this turn... Wait, no, I don't have to. And then deploy saves us in energy when I get those wave beams. If I played the anchor, it'll move me 1 space over to the left. If I played the lunge, it'd move me 2 spaces over to the right. And then it'd destroy that geode. Yeah, that actually really helped by playing out anchor this turn. So I'm just going to do another damage. If I reroll, I can now use basic block to get back to my original position and then fire a wave beam in order to prevent the original attack. Woohoo! Reroll's good. Ooh, multi-shot is incredible this turn. I'm not even going to burn out the anchor. I want to keep it. Mage Hand looks incredible this turn. So does firing Wave Beam. And then I can use Crystal Shard to get back to my original position, currently in taking 1 damage. I'm going to move myself over 2 in order to only take 1 damage to the enemy this round. Lift most card from hand, hitting free, exhaust it, sure. Incoming would only be 1 at the end of this turn after cancelling that attack. More than happy with this. One more Crystal Shard over to the left. I'm going to move back so that I can now fire up a multi-shot, preventing the only incoming damage that could strike me this turn. And then if I use both a Mage Hand and a Wave Beam, I can rectify my positioning. And I don't want to play anything else. It'll just complicate my life. Let's go Wave Beam and then lunge before I can even move here so that I can take out the actions of the enemy. Reroll. Incoming damage is now nullified. And I'm going to gain a basic dodge. I did not intend to move there, but I accidentally clicked move at the very start of that turn. Oops. What it's worth, it doesn't matter. I move back into position and I fire on the enemy. Yeah, so my damage still isn't great. It's fine. Oh, these would help though. Okay, clean exhaust. For the rest of combat, all exhaust and single-use cards cost 0 energy. I don't think I need that yet. Could it set up for things in the future? Theoretically, for these classes, I mean, parry would be a big pickup for parry. Max has some. Books has some. But they're also on display here. Do I want to take the ability to set up for them, or the ability to actually do them? Quantum Quarry, gain a shard every turn, or Endless Magazine, gain a chip shot at the start of every turn, a 0-cost attack. Yes. Warp Mastery, we've seen before, 3 shields, 3 evade on the first turn, Berserker Drive. On the first turn of combat, gain 1 power drive. On the second turn of combat, your enemy also gains 1 power drive. I mean, we are mainly evading for our safety. But I worry about the possibility of encountering an enemy. Whoa. We gotta hold our horses here. Because while there is Berserker Drive, there is also Tridimensional Cockpit, the Max's boss artifact here. Permanently replace your cockpit, which is our brittle section, with empty scaffolding. Lose half of your hull on pickup. Clicky. I lose 2 hull, and now I can only be hit in 3 places entirely on my ship. And I've got a lot of control over our movement. This'll be a lot better. No damage for you, buddy. Don't want to do 2 more damage. Well, I mean, there's no reason not to use the the thing. Sure, I can launch. There we go, I made it very far away from you. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna do multi-shot and then you don't do any more damage. Thank you. Basic dodge, I'll play the admin deploy, and Crystal Shard to generate some resources. If I basic shot, I can move 1 space over in order to line myself up with the mage hand in order to prevent the enemy from doing anything that turn, and then I can use Corrupted Core, burn it out of the deck. Okay, anchor, escalate. Let's fire a basic shot to get back into the middle line and then prevent the enemy from attacking. Crystal Shard lines us back up, but that's not where we want to be, so I'll use an Endless Magazine to get out of dodge. A single chip shot into multi will help for the finish there. Math.max, woo! Escape artist as well, though. Hello. Draw 1 card, discard 1 random card, shuffle your hand, and then autopilot 2. A lot of control over our movement, but I don't think I need that. Math.max. With the amount of 0 costs that I ultimately end up having in this deck, escalate both of the copies of, or any of the copies rather of Chipshot that I don't happen to play, both of the copies of Wave Charge, Admin Deploy after I upgrade it especially, the Crystal Shard after I generate that into the deck as well, any of these basics I end up upgrading. Yeah, I like Math.max, I think it's important. Let's get an event.
Getting a hail from a research vessel.
Hail, are you available for a brief test of Dr. Bjorn's latest invention, the Duplitron? This might sting a bit.
I mean, I can't lose 4 max hull. I don't have 4 max hull to lose. So I'm not going to choose that option, just in case it would try and kill me. Another wave charge would be kind of cool, but then I worry about actually not having enough draw in this deck to sustain using it. Getting a second copy of Escalate's not bad. Especially because it's pre-upgraded. An Endless Magazine that I can play multiple times, and every single time it's giving me another chip shot at the start of every turn, I think gives me a ridiculous amount of power pretty quickly. For sake we make this an honorable deal. You know what, Ratso? I don't have that many positions you could really strike. I don't have weak points. There will always be a good opportunity to actually conduct this fight in a way where we are both chivalrous and see if there is a unique outcome at some point in the future. But right now, I don't have weak spots and you do, buddy. This just seems like a sham. Just gonna gain some resources and move away. Thank you. Multi-shot. I want to burn out the anchor, but if I fire the basic shot and then admin deploy, I'm going to move over 2 spaces and I'll reveal myself to this heavy missile. So I actually guess I want to basic dodge and then just basic shot as much as... It seems like a poor usage of that turn. Endless magazine, and line back up with the enemy. Sure, I'll fire on them for 4. Let's move one over to the left. Fire a chip shot. Move back over to the left. You know what? I'm gonna play map.max. 10 cards. Gimme. Crystal shard draws another. Oh, now I can't move. Oof. Escalate. And I'll gain even more basic dodge. That'll work. Move 2 spaces over, multi-shot, and prevents the enemy summon there with the stun, a endless barrage in order to get more chip shots and a chip shot. I think there's an escalate left in the draw pile as well. Just gonna make this a lot better. Escalator. I mean, if I just move over and then fire the chip shots into the weak area, I can also take the enemy directly out. Lunge Mage Hand B with 2 shield for shard cost. Yeah, that's worth it. Gives me a card if it hits, gives me a card if it hits. I can prevent the enemy from summoning anything. This is amazing. Why don't you just take a bunch of damage this turn, bud? I'll gain some shield and some evade. And then I'll even remove the Corrupted Core and move into a safe position again at the same time. Yeah, reroll, and then admin deploy out the Endless Magazine. Sorry, not Endless Magazine, that was the chip shot generator. 1 basic dodge, completely away from the enemy here. I can deal with a Seeker Swarm. Hell, I can deal with Seeker Swarm-induced paralysis. And my ideal dates would finish with statistical analysis. Endless Magazine B? It could be. I'm gonna move 1 space over and then just fire 2 on the enemy to prevent their summon at all, then use the Endless Magazine B for generation of future resources. Sure, I will be taking 2 straight to the shielding. Chip shot moves us over and lines us up for a stun with a wave beam. I can use an endless magazine, fire another wave beam on the enemy, and then an unpolished crystal as well as its shard to move over, generating a couple more resources. Thanks to all the chip shots, we'll just blow the enemy up there. Escape Artist, Sapphire Shield, and Feint. So Feint does offer something that we otherwise have difficulty with, which is generation of temporary shielding. I've got the ability to move suddenly to the right, I've got the ability to move suddenly to the left. I think I could get value out of adding a single Feint into this deck, definitely. Jet Thrusters. Gain 2 of 8 on the first turn! That's giant. Magnificent. It's huge. Let's use Mage Hand to move back over for safety's sake. Yes, I'll take the Abyssal Visions there, if I must. Crystal Shard in hand to put it on leftmost. I'm gonna basic dodge as well. Let's escalate and then use the Shield Shard to move back in the other direction. And then fire a multi-shot for 4 damage on the enemy and then lines me up for their weak spot after they do damage here. Oh. And that's what we wanted. I'm gonna use a Escalate A and then Admin Deploy to get the Endless Magazine out. I recognize I'm gonna be burning this, but then I get to play Math.max to draw a full hand. Multi-shot will cancel the enemy's attack here, as well as deal 8 damage. Escalate, basic dodge, chip shot to get slightly out of the way, another escalate as well, why not? Alright, you come over here. Why don't you fight me? Okay, here's a basic and then a chip shot for the weak spot of the enemy. And you know what? I'm gonna Zircon zip my way out of here. I don't need to be involved in any of this. Gain 1 more basic block. I've got 7 evade, buddy. Think what you're doing really props up on my radar? Not likely. Spacer.
Avid reader.
Okay, first, Spacer. A 0 cost, it draws a card. And it retains. And it exhausts when you want it to. This is so cool. So, obviously you don't want to put way too many of these in. But that's a very valuable card for sequencing concerns, which are heavy with Max and with the Tiderunner as well. Avid Reader, attack for 3 damage. You must have played 4 cards this turn. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure I will have done that. There's also Inverter. Turn your shield into damage. We have been picking up a lot of shit. Well, a lot of shield, a lot of shield. Really, Raps? A lot of shield? This is some shield at maximum. Oh, but is some shield enough? I don't think so. I almost feel like I take none of these. I want more draws so desperately. I'm gonna take Avid Reader. Premeditation. At the start of combat, you gain a Glissade. Prep batteries. Extra energy on the first turn in combat. I'll take the extra energy on the first turn of combat. Glissade's neat, but again, it's gonna hold into a position where I don't really get to utilize its full versatility. Don't really love that we're in a solar flare at the moment. Means I gotta win this fight pretty quickly. I'm gonna add 2 beams to the draw pile. I'm gonna move over 1 space and then move 1 over manually as well. Please don't burn me that much. Please. Skeleton. Basic shot. Generate an unpolished crystal. And then fire this mage shot B to prevent an attack there. I guess, like, I could crystal shard right now, but it doesn't really help me that much. I just don't feel like the enemy is sweating as much from this hull loss as I am. Easy wave beam. Gotta follow up with math.max right now. Perfect. For another wave beam, then a wave beam. Ba-boom! Avid Reader is ready! And any damage will do it. That's technically damage. Math.max will definitely draw me into enough damage. Couple escalates and a basic shot. Beauty. Spacer, unpolished crystal, and systems security. I'd be happy to take a copy of Spacer now. I'm not gonna not take that. Every time you heal, heal 1 more, or the first time you gain crystal shot each turn, gain 1 temp shield. Boo 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 boo. I would like some temp shield, so that'll help. Honestly, math.max that doesn't cause us to choke out on the draw the turn after would be really good. An admin deploy that allows me to choose to play for 0 cost would also be pretty good. Unpolished crystal that generates more more shards would be good. Feint moving only 1, but also providing a evade. I don't know if I need that much more evade. I'm between my artifacts and my Zircon zip, I feel I'm pretty confident on that. Yeah, let's get the 2 crystal shards cycling through that draw pile. Okay, so I'm gonna move left twice. Escalate, then admin deploy plays out a basic shot. If I fire a mage hand, I can now take 0 damage and then play the Endless Magazine for more damage in the future. Shit can't move until I get rid of that. I could easily just take this hit. It's only 2 incoming damage. I can prevent that all with a reroll. Ooh, you're lining me up with stunnable positions, I see. I could stop the enemy from getting a bunch of temp next turn. Does that matter to me? Not especially, actually. I'm gonna chip shot. Then dive back in the other direction. Move 1 space over and then fire a Mage Hand B to silence another shot, and dive even further to prevent any incoming damage. Let's fire a chip shot and then a spacer. Yep. Giving me the ability to move over and fire a wave beam to prevent all of the incoming rockets from the enemy. Crystal shards into the draw pile, and then I can use a single basic block and corrupted core for extra resources. And my draw pile is now sick as hell. Let's use a wave beam into a chip shot to simply prevent some incoming actions from the enemy. 2 crystal shards will give me the ability to use this Zircon Zip for effect. And let's do it. In fact, if I feint back in the other direction, I can now use a lunge for additional damage. Oh, strafe would be so much damage here. Definitely fire a wave beam, move one over to the left so that I can fire a chip shot. Then if I multi-shot and reroll, I can set up for an Avid Reader. Incoming damage this turn is 1 against my temp. Chip shot into Crystal Shard, lining me back up with the 2 damage instance that I might want to prevent here. And in fact I do. And then I'll even pop off another Endless Magazine, so I'm generating even more chip shots per turn. Oh, and those are especially good in a turn like this, where we draw both of our escalates, but no damage otherwise. Chip shot, and both of them move me across, so I get to strafe across the enemy effectively here. Preventing 2 of their missiles with ease. Oh my god, escalate, escalate. This is exactly the type of turn we're looking for. Chip shot. Chip shot. Wave beam, lunge, add more! We can hull Endless Magazine Inverter. Whoa! Oh, that weakened hull is actually already upgraded to B. So it makes the enemy brittle. Honestly, it's not bad. It is some nice additional setup for the first cycle when I am otherwise mostly setting up. Extra energy in the first turn to evade in the first turn. Whenever I miss, I take a shot. Replace cockpit. It's not really synergistic with the rest of our stuff. Honestly, another copy of Endless Magazine is not bad. Upgrade that to Endless Magazine B and I'm just generating a bunch of chip shots per turn. That might actually be significantly more effective than Weaken Hull B would be for us. Simplicity. On pickup, remove 3 or gain an extra energy every turn, but add a trash to your draw pile every 2 turns. Not super keen on that. I'm already in the way of my own draw a lot. At the start turn of combat, gain 1 power drive. On the second turn of combat, your enemy also gains a power drive. You know what? It's now time for the Berserker drive. Now that we're, endlessly firing upon the enemy endlessly. Seems a good time for it. Void's Cradle. Okay, 2 crystal shards in the draw pile, please. Heck, I'll even take a draw. Move 1 over, fire a mage hand. Oh no. Oops. My planning that turn was bad, and as a result, my turn that turn was bad. It's okay. Multi-shot to prevent the enemy from doing anything, and then evade. Crystal Shard to move one more space, and then I'll move one final space manually. Let's use Zircon Zip to line myself up with the enemy's outcoming damage this turn. And then I can do a bunch of damage to him. I mean, you gotta go with the Crystal Shard, right? Oof. Okay, I'm gonna escalate, chip shot. I'm gonna reroll. And I'm gonna endless magazine. I will take the 1 shield damage involved here. Yeah, it puts me in a much better position to do stuff like this. I'm gonna chip shot 1 space over, and then block the enemy's damage with another. Move left for free, and then use math.max in order to draw all of these cards. Escalate, as well as Crystal Shard. As well as Crystal Shard. Alright, fine. I'll just finish up with Wave Beam and then a multi-shot as well. Yeah, math.max is a ridiculously powerful card for me. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand how it's good. That's my impression of me 10 seconds ago. It's good. It's very good. Power play. Lose a hull, but add 1 damage to all attacks. Oh, that's so annoying. Annoyingly, I think that's great. I think it's incredible. I think it's probably worth it. For like the final boss fights and stuff. I just can't use it in every fight that I draw that. Safety is the name of the game right now. Space, it's an additional shard, not awful. Avid Reader is almost always available to us. Math.max. I mean, I do want to play it every time I draw it. Oh. Second endless magazine upgrade? Sure. And now my damage is taken care of forever. Endless magazine B. I'll move 1 space over so that I can line up a basic shot and then another one in order to prevent the enemy's attack and hide behind that geode. Yeah, it's really important I kill you quickly. I wonder if it's worth playing a power play. No. That's 3 turns that I'm giving up in playing a power play there. Chip shot over, use Mage Hand to prevent an attack. Admin deploy math.max out of the deck unfortunately doesn't really help me because I still have only 1 energy left over afterwards. So it's Unpolished Crystal and then Faint. Okay, I'm gonna chip shot across. Multi-shot and then Endless Magazine B. Crystal Shard myself back in the other direction, and we've got 2 Endless Magazines going off at the moment. That's pretty good. Escalate, and I should use Spacer and Crystal Shard as well. Chip shot. Chip shot. Basic shot. And sure, I'll burn out the corrupted core now as well. Seems like this has worked reasonably well. I don't think I could have saved an extra hull by playing power play. That would have had to been like 3 extra turns that I would have saved, which wasn't happening. Sapphire Shield B. I'm definitely open to a Sapphire Shield B at this point. 2 shield, 1 gem. Yeah. Hello, Brack. Endless Magazine is currently appropriate, obviously. So is Mage Hand. Any sort of setup will do it. Let's use Admin Deploy to get out the charge for cheap. Then I can escalate to move over. Heck, I can even use Sapphire Shield B in order to gain even more evade with Zircon Zip. The resources are coming fast and furious now. I'm gonna use a chip shot, then wave beam to prevent the next incoming attack. I think I will just be taking the 2 damage to the Seeker, because in doing so I'm capable of playing another Endless Magazine. And even getting the Crystal Shards finally into my deck. Let's use multi-shot to prevent the enemy from attacking anything except for its own targets this turn, thank you. One basic shot to get over here, 1 basic shot to bind them, and a chip shot at the very end for another 2 damage, thank you kindly. I see you crabbing your way out of here. No, 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 no. Get back here, buddy. Absolute coward. Broke all your junk. Chip shot, multi-shot. And then a big old mage hand, move back into position and set up the Avid Reader for the kill. Oh, another wage on me! Yes. 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 Yes, 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 yes. That's what we want. Do I want to go for another elite? I think I could probably, like, bank a victory if I just go to the end. I could also take an upgrade instead of the elite. Is the artifact going to assist me more than an upgrade at this point? Let's consider our possible upgrades here. Admin Deploy lowering its cost. Or even getting it the ability to choose a specific in hand. I'm going to take the safe route. In terms of defensiveness, something like Feint giving an extra temp shield does have quite a lot of appeal to me. More temp shielding, thank you. Energy refund! Energy whenever you play a 3+ energy cost card, such as... well, we have it anyway! Woo!
Ow, my brain.
You all again.
An extra planar being, neat.
What do you value most?
Yeah, it's probably damage, right?
Then it is yours.
Thanks.
I'm just gonna get out of dodge. I'm gonna remove the anchor and then play Spacer and Feint, get completely far away, Endless Magazine B so that I actually get some fuel for a later turn. There you go, no hitting me. Two cross shards in the draw pile. Let's get 2 wave beams in the draw pile. One over the left. We're all good. Hit him with a multi-shot before I do anything else. Wave beam, move over, chip shot, and no damage for me, thank you. Just Zircon zip out of here. Especially because of all the zero cost cards I can put over that side of my hand. Enemy is, of course, rusting to death. Mage hand B. Move 2 to the left, take 1 more over, wave beam, and a big old chip shot. Think that'll do it. Clean exhaust, not really required at this point. Multi-shot B, 2 piercing attacks. 2 piercing attacks on a single card is probably not still to be underestimated. And then Enrage. Outgoing. This enemy will be applied to the enemy. Okay, I give them Power Drive. 1 damage extra to all of their attacks, but I also cancel every intent on their shit. That's wild. Oh boy. I'm going with multi-shot B, but only because I'm terrified. Fracture detection. Random enemy part is made brittle at the start of the fight. And give a card that doesn't have retain in your hand retain. What wants retain? What wants to live on the leftmost side of my hand until I can use it? The thing is, I don't want it to live there long because I do want to be able to use other things consistently. I'm taking the fracture detection actually on that exact same reckoning. Sorry, reasoning. Reckoning. Recco reasoning. Reroll. Love more temp shield. Oh, I'd love it if I didn't just randomly die to something. Going in. Okay. I just have to play the basic block at the end of this turn. Savvy? Good. Let's go for Saf Shield B. Basic block. Didn't do it. I did not do it. I said the thing, but then I didn't do the thing. And doing the thing is like, as it turns out, 99% of getting the thing done. Alas. I'm gonna move 1 space over to the left, use an escalate, and then multi-shot to prevent the enemy from giving me a card no matter where I am. Chip shot will get me right back in the position I want to be. Spacer now makes Avid Reader playable. And I also found the enemy's brittle position. What? I can do 10 more damage to them this turn if I really wanted to. Honestly, I think I should probably just generate more evade. Fine, but I'll also use one of those evade for 10. Oof, shit can't move if that's in my hand. Gotta get that out. Move one space over chip shot. Feint A back in the other direction, then I can use a basic dodge in order to get more evasion by the end of the turn. I'm now lined up in such a position that neither of these heavy missiles is currently targeting me, at least. I do intend to play power play A over the course of this fight. So if I move one over left, I'm signing myself up for 3 incoming damage. And he has 34 hull. $20. Another 10. And then a chip shot for the kill. Got him. Whew.
You are growing stronger. Who shall it be this time?
We're continuing, of course, with Perry. All this suffering in the time loop, I hold you responsible for it.
Your understanding of the situation is flawed, but your anger is useful.
Good! I've got plenty more.
Good.
Good! T-minus 13,505 days.
Yay! Chocolate cake!
Happy birthday, Hyperia.
Cake, 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 cake!
Here you go, sweetie. Be careful.
Periwinkle!
Oh, no, Hyperia, you dropped your cake on the floor.
It was my lack of honor, vigilance, and discipline what caused this. I will make sure it never happens to anyone again, ever again.
Ouch! It starts early, Perry. I see the kind of process that creates a person like you. That's victory in 1 hour and 7 minutes. There's a seed there if you happen to need it for a run similar as such. Smooth Sailing has unlocked the Tiderunner for us, which seems a little late, buddy. Steam, just catching up to date there. We'll continue with another run that has Perry, and not necessarily the Tiderunner, although I think I might start skipping the Artemis a little bit. Artemis is very, very, basic. It's the basic ship. So I may cycle back around to Ares in the next episode. Until then, though, let me just say that my name's been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Cobalt called Top Letters, a series playlist, with all of my content of the Game Pass for us in the future. YouTube recommendation is down below that. Streaming pass and the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thanks, especially thank tier. The thanks tier, rather. Anyway, I'll see you next episode.